Howdy! This is that crusty old biker from the Hogtide Rising Channel, and I want to thank you all for taking some time out of your busy day to join me here. If you're a subscriber, well, thank you very much. And if you're not, but you like what you see and you like what you hear, please hit the like and share buttons below. And if you want to see more biker-oriented content on this channel, well, please hit the subscribe button. You know, I am a survivor from a motorcycle accident, and I got a lot of support and a lot of help from the One Broken Biker organization. So here I am now in Nanaimo, BC, and I have got a meeting up with another survivor, another One Broken Biker survivor who was also in a motor vehicle accident on his motorcycle. We've never met before, but this is our common link, One Broken Biker, an absolutely incredible organization that raises funds and then provides financial and moral support to fallen riders. So I have here with me Nathan Olson. And Nathan is a relatively new survivor. Now, what was the date of your accident, Nathan?
It was Easter Monday, so April 13th.
April 13th, so that's barely 2 months ago. Whereas in my case, my accident was last July 16th. I'm almost a year in. So Nathan, you were riding your motorcycle and you got involved in a motorcycle accident. Now I understand it was pretty traumatic. You suffered some pretty traumatic on-scene injuries. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was hit on my motorcycle, flew me off the bike, ended up severing my leg at the scene from below my knee, fractured 7 ribs. I got a hemorrhage in the one eye, and have numbness in both my hands. So yeah, a lot of surgeries. There was a nurse on scene that was just sitting in her car while I got hit, and she ended up boring a belt from a guy that was just on onlooker and tourniqueted my leg to stop the bleeding. And there's 3 other nurses. So before the ambulance showed up, before any EMTs arrived, there's already like 4 nurses pretty much saved my life. I was bleeding out through my femoral artery, and I don't think I would have made it. So ended up being that that nurse saved my life that day. And yeah, a lot of trauma. Was in the hospital for 6 weeks with 8 different surgeries. And so my last surgery was only like 5 weeks ago. So I'm really fresh, still healing on my residual leg, and it's going to be a while. So definitely.
Wow. I mean, I thought I suffered through my motorcycle accident. Like I mentioned, I'm almost a year into it. I was in a motor vehicle accident. I had to be flown, airlifted by helicopter to the nearest trauma center because the center where I had my accident didn't have a trauma center. I woke up in the hospital 3 days after the accident and looked down and said, holy smokes, I don't have a leg anymore. I'm missing an original body part, 3 original body parts. I don't have a foot, I don't have an ankle, I don't have a knee, I don't have a shin. So the one good thing about it, I don't get cold feet. I mean, and the other good thing is I I don't stub my toe on that foot. So that's kind of good too. But yeah, so I'm a year in. I've had my prosthetic since October. Now you, Nathan, you don't have a prosthetic yet. Do you have any idea when they are going to be fitting you for it?
They're kind of waiting for a lot of the swelling to go down, but it's not going down. So they're looking at, because I had so many surgeries on it, 8 surgeries, that I have a lot of swelling. That's just, and the swelling is an indicator that there's still healing going on. So I think they're just waiting to see when that starts to starts to reside, and it's going to be a while. I don't think it's going to be a real quick thing. I think it's going to be could be months even. Who knows?
Well, actually, once you have your final surgery, the stitches will stay in for 21 days. That's pretty much standard. And at 21 days, that's when my second surgery. I had one surgery, the original surgery, and then they had to do an adjustment, as they call it, which just basically means it cut off another few inches. And that surgery was fairly clean, and 21 days after that surgery, they pulled the stitches, and I thought, well, it's going to be a while before, and they said, nope, they came and they basically fitted me for a socket liner, and I started wearing the socket liner, and a week later I had a prosthetic with a temporary socket, which you'll get, made out of recycled pop bottles. and then after a few months of wearing that, then they cast me my original socket, which is I call Marilyn, because I had a T-shirt, a David Gonzalez T-shirt of Marilyn Monroe on a motorcycle behind a skeleton. I loved it, so I had that cast into my cast, and I'll sort of picture of that just so people know what I mean. So I call it Marilyn because it's Marilyn Monroe. So you'll have that option too, to personalize your socket. But it is amazing how quickly, once your leg recovers from the stitches, once the incision heals, it's pretty quick. They get a socket on you, and once getting the socket on, it's a slow process. I was in a care center in Calgary, and the physiotherapists and everything, like, they watched me like a hawk, and they watched exactly what we were, I was doing, what they'd allow me to do. I also had a complication of a broken neck, which slowed me down, and you haven't had that. Yeah. So you will actually start getting onto the leg, and you'll start walking a little bit in parallel bars. You'll be going to your prostheticist and walking on parallel bars, and you start exercising. The thing about it, Nathan, is you will realize that we tend to think we're the center of the universe, and we are of our own, but you are going to now realize that you are part of a team. And that team, the first member in that team is your wife, Jennifer. And then the next members in that team are going to be your physiotherapists. They're actually even more important to you than your prostheticist. And then your prostheticist, and who will be fitting you for a socket and getting you working on a leg. But it's all part of that team. And you work with them, and you will progress incredibly fast, incredibly fast. Well, this is the first segment of our conversation, and we're going to be continuing on. We've got some other things to talk about, which I will be posting them, but I don't want to bore you with too long of a video all in one. So once again, I sure appreciate you taking the time to join me and my new friend Nathan on the Hogtide Rising Channel as we talk. This is Survivors in Conversation. We are survivors of traumatic motor vehicle accidents, motorcyclists. We're adapting to it. We're learning how to adapt to the new normal. So thank you for joining us. Now, if you like what you see on this channel, please hit the like and the share buttons below. If you have a comment, if you have something you want to ask me about the content of this video, there's a comment section below. So as I mentioned, like and share below. If you want to subscribe to the Hogtide Rising channel so that you can be warned in advance when I'm bringing out videos. I publish a video every Wednesday, 7:30 Mountain Standard Time in the evening. Subscriptions are nice. But once again, thank you very much. So this is Jim Powers, that crusty old biker on the Hogtide Rising channel, and I'm signing off for now.